Say yes to new beginnings.
Yes.
Say yes to new standards of excellence.
Yes.
Say yes to engaging reportage with a difference.
Yes.
Introducing Yes International Magazine.
So, what distinguishes Elder O from the other comedians? What stands you out?
Okay, just like I said, first of all, my name, being the only elderly person among the comedians,
A young elder.
being the eldest person among comedians, and I'm just like a father to all the comedians.
I like that. Young father.
And then my kind of dressing, I call this cooperative dressing, where I brought together the English and the native, not trying so hard not to forget my culture. I'm from Abia State, from back in the local government area, and this is one of the things we are known with, So I had to incorporate it into my dressing, and I call it a cooperative dressing. So I think it's one of the things that stands me out. And then knowing what to give my audience at a particular time, because most times when you see some of our colleagues, you can't go to a children's event or on a children's day and then start telling them about mommy and daddy jokes and start telling them about one story and another. You have to come down to the level of the kids. Being able to understand your audience. I think these are some of the things that stand me out. And then I'm very, very, very spontaneous.
Okay.
If I had to blow my trumpet, I'm very, very, very spontaneous.
I like that.
Without that, the last place where I had my comedy show, my comedy weekend shows at the stadium, OJS, I was the first and only comedian that spent 11 years there, and I was the first and only comedian that did show 3 times every week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, for 11 years, and we still have people coming every week. Not because if I go there cracking jokes, I will get tired, and they will get tired of seeing me. So that's where spontaneity comes into play. When you just walk around the audience, you see a bottle on their table, you make a joke out from that bottle, and then they mistakenly talk back at me. Then that's all. You pick from what they're saying, and we just play around. And I've been very lucky. I've never been harassed while yabbing. Most times we can say yabbing. I've never been harassed while yabbing people. So I don't do those sensitive yabbing, hitting below the belt.
Okay.
Sometimes I yab people and they even clap for me for yabbing them.
Interesting. Now, Elder O lost his first wife, Charity Odemenam, in 2014. I think she died 24 hours after giving birth to your son. How were you able to cope until you eventually remarried on January 3rd? So let's even look at that.
Wow. May I so rest in peace.
Amen.
Coping was not that easy at that moment. As a matter of fact, I never knew I could survive it, sorry, because it taught me so many things in life. It taught me not to put so much trust on things, on humans, that anything can happen at any time. It took me 8 long years to finally make the decision to get married again because of our closeness, and it was not easy. It almost destroyed me, because I don't know how to put it. Most times when you tell people I know how you're feeling, you don't actually know how they're feeling. Yeah. Until you are in their shoes, and then you will understand. I used to think I was I'm a very strong person, but her demise cut me down to size. It was not easy. For like 3 months, I was indoors. I locked myself up, not talking to people. I stopped comedy. People never knew the battle I was going through. I stopped comedy. I stopped going to church. I was angry with God. In fact, even after coming out, the first time I went, I was on. They had to get me a counselor that started talking to me to go back to that thing that is making me happy, and that could only be comedy. So the first time I went out, I went to a comedy show. disguised with a face cap. For the first time I was putting a face cap in my life. I just sat. I was just listening to jokes. I bought a ticket, just listening to the jokes, and was just laughing. And that was how gradually I came back. But for 5 years, I had this. What do they call it? I had this fear. I'm trying to get the word. I had this fear for pregnant women for 5 years. As in, I don't like seeing pregnant women. I don't know how to put it. It was just looking as if any pregnant woman is just on a death sentence to me. So even if I'm driving as a pregnant woman, I will just wind up and look the other side. And it took me 5 years to start seeing things differently. And today we are here. I'm saying some of these things for the first time.
I know what a moving story. What a moving story. So now your new wife, Chiamaka Ukeje, how did you eventually meet her, and how did you eventually make up your mind about settling down with her?
Okay, before now, I've been trying my best. The last 2-3 years, I've been trying my best to see, okay, if I can move on and get a new wife. But we have a son together, and then I have to put him into consideration too, because you don't just get a wife. I needed someone that would at least see her as her first son, as her own. And I tried my best. 3 years ago, I was almost getting down with a particular babe, just to say. She came to visit, being that my major problem was my son, because me, I don't have issue. Once you are able to give me that attitude that will make me believe, okay, that you love him, then I think I'll be okay. Then, so I had this girl that she fortunately, when she was trying to visit, she stays outside Lagos, was during the holiday, so I had to bring my son home. And with the way she always behaves when I'm around, and even if I scold the boy, she'll be shouting at me, not to talk to this boy like that. I was like, this babe, they fake. So she never knew I had the cameras in my house. Then I activated some of them, and what I saw on the camera was not funny. Once I leave the house, she turns to a tigress and starts shouting, scolding, beating, hitting. At some point, I saw her even lifting him up and fling him on one of the chairs in the parlor. I was like, wow. This same babe that almost fought me for shouting at my son almost killed this boy. So I gradually withdrew. Till now, I didn't tell her why I withdrew from her. I did not. So gradually withdrew, and then the hatred I have for marriage again now increased. Then I have to wait for another 3 years. Then what attracted me to Chiamaka, my wife now, was my cousin had put up a surprise birthday for his wife. Coincidentally, the wife is her own cousin too, and I was there to MC the event and just show them love. And then I saw this, babe serving everybody. Her mom is a caterer, so they go to events, they cook, they know that. But the mom was not there, so I saw the way she was just serving everybody, and without being angry, people were talking, men, people at events shouting at her, and she was just smiling and serving. I said, I said that this can't be by what? Because me too, I know I get small score. So I was like, these are few manage my small rubbish. After the event, I met her downstairs. I asked her her name. She told me. I collected her number. I told her I would call her. I didn't call her. It took me like another 1 year to call her. I think like 10 months to call her. So when I finally called her, I introduced myself. She said, "Oh, wow, the number you collected some years ago." I said, "Yes, because I was taking my time to know you from my own side, because I've seen dangerous babes." So within that 10 months that I collected her number, I did not call her. I was like trying to monitor her. I saved her number on my WhatsApp. I checked some of her status. She was doing her youth service in Anambra. and I had some of my friends there too. I would just okay, how far you they see this girl? Someone was in that camp too. I was trying to know the kind of lifestyle she was living there and all that. And for a girl her age, with the small level where she done there, always carrying people's children with her NYSC clothes. You see her backing people. You would think that she's even the mother of the kids. Understand? Then coming back to Lagos too, I had my eyes on her too. And there was this particular small 2 or 3 years old boy she was taking to her mom's shop in Idumota. So at some point I was like, nah, this girl born this boy, because almost every time my friend that was helping me to check things, we were always be telling me, this is your baby, this is your girl, they always carry pikin. I don't know whether that she born her. And then only to find out that the child belongs to one of the girls that was living or that is living with them. So the child don't even like to follow his mom again. Now she they carry the child to understand. So with these little things, I was like, okay, at least this one can be a little bit friendly with kids. That was just what I was looking for then. We started a relationship. Gradually, I found out that she just okay for me. Understand? And my son came back during the holidays. I watched them from afar. I was cool.
You also watch them from your camera, from your
No,
camera.
from afar.